The thing about flour to point out is that they all look kind of the same, white flours, they all look similar. But that can lull you into a false sense of security. In fact, they can be very, very different. It really doesn't pay to be a flour floozy. I'm not saying there's any flours that are particularly wrong, it's just that in finding a flour that's strong, it's made and milled for bread making, it's going to give you more stretchiness, more elasticity, you're going to get a better loaf. Find your flour, stick with it, that's my tip. So I'm using sea salt to make the sourdough bread. Now obviously you can use just regular table salt, but for me sea salt's really great. It's a little bit more expensive, but you don't have to use quite as much. The most important thing about salt is it's there to season the bread. The flour, the sourdough, they have great flavour, but unless you season it with salt, you can't really appreciate the great flavour that it has. So it's going to be a case of personal preference as to how much salt you put into your dough. But for this recipe, a good generous pinchful like that works really well for me. If you do put in less, then just be aware that it won't taste as great and you might find it harder to share. You'll get less people demanding that you bake bread for them. So just bear that in mind. So water is just water, isn't it? It's what holds the flour and the other ingredients together. But there is something about the water that I'd love you to know. The temperature of the water will really help determine how quickly your dough rises. So if you have hot water, you can really speed the process up. So this is hot out of the tap. It's not hot from the kettle. It's not boiling water. So this is, well, nearly 44 degrees C. That's ideal for rising the sourdough bread quickly. When I say quickly, I'm talking kind of 4 or 5 hours, that kind of time frame. The most important ingredient in this recipe is the sourdough starter. So here it is, 60 years old, give or take a day or two, and I fed this last night. So this was fed 12 hours ago. So you can tell just by looking that this sourdough is really lively. It's squirted out around the sides, and if I pop the lid, get the gas rushes out, kind of squirts onto my hand, and look there, you can see inside you've got these little air bubbles. These are carbon dioxide. That's where the wild yeasts are converting the sugar naturally present in the flour into carbon dioxide, and it'll be these precious yeasty exhalations that rise us a mighty sourdough loaf.